Okay, what we're going to work on today is my 2008 VW Passat. It's a 2.0 liter turbocharged engine with a manual transmission. Some VWs you may find during the model years are slightly different than mine, but I'm going to show you how you can remove the headlights so that you can replace them. Problem I had is, and you may have the same problem, I went to replace a light bulb, and when I took the light bulb and pulled the socket out, to get out the light socket to place the new bulb in place, I found that the wires were brittle, the insulation was brittle, and the more I moved the wires, all the insulation fell off. And I mean all the insulation fell off. These are some of the tools you'll need. I've been on YouTube and looked at videos about how to remove these headlamps, and found out that one gentleman said that the dealer wanted $950 to do the job. And so we're trying to find a way where you don't have to spend that money. These headlamps are actually very inexpensive, relatively. This headlamp is $80, so a pair is $160. And you can have brand new headlamps and not worry about the wires inside. There are 4 connections that hold this to the car. So there are 4 on this headlamp, 4 on the other. 7 of these bolts are easy to get out relatively. This one right here is the problem, and I'll show you how to do it without taking the bumper off. The first step is to remove the grill from the car. There are 4 screws each side. That's 8. There are 2 more down here. They're very easy to get to. If you lay down on the ground and look up, you'll see them. They're not all the same size, so keep track of your screws. There are 4 of them that are shorter than the others. I'm going to use the T25 Torx to remove the screws. Pull the grill away. Snaps in. Simple job. This piece right here has to come off, and it's not bolted in, it's just snapped in, so just rip it out of here. To get access to the inner bolt on this light and on this light, just pull this out and work that piece of plastic out of the way. These 2 bolts, of course, you can get to without any problem. This outer bolt can be reached from underneath. Remove the outer one here, the inner one here. Leave these because this will hold the lamp in place so that you can pull the bolts out without any strain on them. The passenger side light, same thing. You've got 2 accessible here. You can pull this out of the way. You can get your Torx head in there. You can use a Torx head or you can use a socket, either one. That's easy to get to. It's the outer bolt underneath here. This is the sucker you're going to have a problem with, but it's possible. Now the reason you can't reach in here and get it is the windshield washer container is in the way. So you have to get to this one from underneath. There's 1 screw that holds this on, and there's 1 screw that holds this on. You take these out, and now you can reach up underneath and get to that bolt. What you need down here is a Phillips head. There's 1 screw. There's 1 screw here for this grill. There's 1 screw here for the parking light. This bolt is the bolt that people take to remove the bumper to get to. But it's possible to get to this with this wrench, and once you get it loose, you can use a 10mm socket, and there's a space up there. You can get to it, and then you can twist it with your fingers and you can get it out. Now when you go to put this bolt back, that's another trick. You want to put it in the socket and take some tape. I've got some blue masking tape I'm going to use, but I'm going to tape that bolt to the socket. so that I can run this up and run it back in, and then I can twist the socket to reassemble it. This is a T30 Torx head. Now that we have the two bottom ones out, this job is almost over. I went back to the T25 Torx. We'll lift these guys out. Believe it or not, one of the problems you're going to have on the car is simply removing the wiring harness. I just simply put a quarter in here, twisted, and I was able to get it out. Okay, a little fun part. Everything's loose. This is ready to come out, but you got to wiggle it around a little bit. And out she comes. There it is. Should fall right in. There we go. I'm going to try to line this to screw this bulb in exactly where the other one is. I may end up having to adjust the light somewhat, but in any event, I'm going to try to put it back precisely where it was. And you can almost tell by looking in here. Before we put the two lower bolts in, we're going to reconnect the harness and make sure the lights come on. You can tape the bolt to the socket to hold it when you run it in. Don't tape it so tight though that when you pull it out you leave your socket, so you want it to break free once you get this in. Alright, we're going to put these lights back in. Once this light is in, your day is over because the light on the driver's side is a piece of cake. No problem, it just pushes in. There's one screw that goes here. This just snaps right in. Put this end in. You may have noticed I have a little bit of tremor, so if I can do it, anybody can do it. Put the last bolt in. That side's done. That's the hard side. This side is simple. On the driver's side, you don't have to remove anything down here because it's all accessible from underneath. It's a little bit of the braille system in that you're going to have to reach back, find it. But once you find it, you can use your wrenches or your sockets and it will come out way back in here. Put the new light in, just reverse the process. As you know, you got to twist it almost backward and around to get it in, but no problem. I'm just going to line it up as best I can with the old one. I was just going to say, as you can see, once you've done the passenger side light, you're done. This is easy. Driver's side light is simple. Take the bolt, reach underneath, use the braille system until you find where it wants to go. Yeah, it helps to push the head down a little bit so you can catch threads because there's not much thread to catch there. It's in. All I have to do is tighten it up. I'm going to put the 10mm wrench on it. Pull this out of the way and in she goes. Put everything back in order. We've got our plastic piece that goes here. It just snaps in. The grill goes back in and reverse. As you know, that's easy to take out, so it's easy to put back in. Watch where you're putting it, just lays in place. I've got 6 long screws. The long screws go here. Let's just do it this way. The short ones are the inside here, and the 2 underneath. There, we're done. Took us approximately an hour and a half. You can see the difference between the the new and the old, and no burnt wires.